You might see me fail, but I'll be proud of myself that I haven't chosen the path to say excuses or run away, but to face the difficulties and constantly fight to become a better person. Minasan konnichiwa and welcome to Let's Ask Shogo. When I was filming the video where I bought my first real katana, I asked my sensei about the points to look out for when choosing a katana for tameshiri training. I thought he would talk about the specific conditions of a katana, but the answer I received was something very different. Shogo, I don't like that way of thinking, and that's why I will never make a custom katana. It was a teaching that changed my values towards the katana and training martial arts completely. But what does his words actually mean? This might be a short video, but it's an inspiring message that I want all katana trainees like me to know about. I'm confident they'll make you rethink about the purposes and values of training. But of course, you might have some opposing opinions or some ideas you don't fully understand. So please feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also, I must emphasize that this idea only applies if you're searching for a real katana for the purpose of training martial arts. If you're collecting katana just for display, you are of course free to buy or create any kind of sword you like. In this channel, you can take a closer look at Japanese traditional culture, tips on traveling to Kyoto, and social problems in Japan. So learners, lovers of Japanese language and culture, be sure to subscribe to enjoy more content. それでは本日は日本刀の話をしてまいりましょう。The question I asked my sensei was quite simple. What are the points to look out for when choosing a katana for tameshigiri? I could easily see that his facial expressions clouded immediately. Actually, I personally don't like that way of thinking. I was surprised. What did he mean by not liking thinking about how to choose a katana? Then he slowly started to explain. It's because I believe that people don't choose the katana, but the katana chooses its owner. Generally, when selecting a katana for tameshigiri training, there are some standards. The length should be this much. The curvature should be this much, and the center of gravity should be around here. So that's why many people are taught by their martial art instructors to make a custom katana for themselves. And that'll become the jobs of the modern katana swordsmiths. You would probably think that making the most efficient katana just for yourself is the best option. But then why is my sensei against it? In order to understand this, we need to think about the purpose of training modern katana-related martial arts. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you must be interested in katana and budo. However, in the modern world today, where we never actually carry around katana to fight with anyone, what's the point of training? For example, kendo and judo have an aspect as a sport by winning and losing games. Iaido does have tournaments too, but it's usually something where participants would each show their kata movements to the judges and not clash each other's katana. And you would never walk outside with a katana equipped on your waist. Then why do I continue training? This is my personal purpose, but it is to continue to surpass our weak selves through training of the mind and body. Which means I am not swinging my katana to cut someone else. What I'm fighting against is my weak self. Many people probably have an image that samurai were warriors swinging around weapons. However, they had an even more important role in society. It was to be a good leader. Many samurai trained hard in budo for the purpose to become good leaders for their people. If there is any reason for us to swing katana in this modern world, wouldn't this be it? Because I believe in this, I was inspired by what my sensei said. In other words, there is no point in practicing Iaido if you're not constantly challenging your own limits in order to exceed who you were yesterday. Suppose you had a katana swordsmith make a hirazukuri katana with the center of gravity toward your hand and the length and curve fitting your body perfectly. Or you have searched for such a katana, and let's say you were able to do the kata beautifully and you were able to perform a brilliant slash. So what? What would you gain? Being able to handle a katana that is convenient to your use is obvious. You are losing your chances of learning the most important teachings of katana training. Real katana have mysterious powers. It may be a feeling similar to falling in love with someone at first sight. When you meet your ideal katana, I'm certain you will instantly think, this is the one. There is no logic to it. You don't think about the length or the curve or the center of gravity. This is the moment you realize the katana has chosen you. So, to make long story short, my sensei taught me that the path of training the katana is to become skilled enough to be able to handle the katana that has chosen you, and to learn humility and develop the mindset to face difficulties without excuses. Whether it's your body or your environment around you, life is not exactly going to be the way you want it to be. But no matter what the condition, only those who continue to take action and challenge themselves without excuses can succeed. Training the katana can help us to become someone who can be thankful for the unfairness of life and to be strong enough to overcome it. I actually suffer from a terrible case of Raynaud's disease. And whenever I feel any bit of coldness, my fingers will start to hurt and literally rot off. For a long time, I've grieved every day, wondering why I had to suffer from this terrible disease. There would have been so many things I could have done if only I didn't have this sickness. But thanks to my sensei teaching me this life-changing lesson, I changed my mindset to be thankful for the body that I have and continue to do what I can do. It doesn't matter if I might not be able to do the kata or the tameshigi properly because of my broken fingers. What really matters is that I have met my ideal katana, and together with him, I will train very hard to become the best version of me with the conditions I have. You might see me fail, but I'll be proud of myself that I haven't chosen the path to say excuses or run away, but to face the difficulties and constantly fight to become a better person. Then lastly, today's conclusion. When I asked my Iaido instructor about the points to look out for when choosing a katana for tameshigi mat cutting training, he taught me an important lesson that people don't choose the katana, but the katana chooses its owner. Generally, when selecting a katana for cutting, there are some standards. And that's why there are many katana instructors who teach their students to ask a modern katana swordsmith to create the best katana for you. However, the purpose of training the katana in today's world, where you never actually carry katana outside and fight with anyone, is to continue to surpass our weak selves through training of the body and mind. Which means you will not be able to learn much if you use a katana that's convenient for you, because being able to handle katana that's convenient for your use is obvious. My sensei taught me that the path of training the katana is to become skilled enough to be able to handle the katana that has chosen you, and to learn humility and develop the mindset to face difficulties without excuses. This idea can be applied to your life itself, and it helps us to become someone who can be grateful for the unfairness of life and to be strong enough to overcome it. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you thought this was a very interesting point of view, please hit the like button to help me boost this video to more people. And please check out our sub-channel and membership through the link inside the description box. And recently, I set up a new goal to become a Japanese language instructor, and in order to raise the money to go to school for that, I've opened up a Ko-fi page, a donation platform to raise money to go to school. So it'd be great if you can help me out to make this goal a reality. Thanks again, and I'll see you in my next video. 皆さんどうもありがとうございました。Okay, so this was another video that's really hard to explain on. I didn't want it to sound too spiritual either, but I guess partially it is. You know, in the end, it's really difficult to explain with words. And I didn't include this in the main part of the video, but I also wanted to explain that what I explained today would be completely different in the Sengoku War era too, for example. If it was a time of war and katana was something a real weapon that you needed to use to survive, you wouldn't be like saying that must use this really difficult weapon, to become a better person. No, it's more important for you to actually win and survive. So again, it'll be completely different. Again, I'm talking about modern Budo martial arts today. So that would be a very, very different thing to do. So again, it's really up to what your values are. I'm pretty sure many people won't agree with what I explained in this video. It's just something that I was really inspired by. So I wanted to share with you. Maybe some of you might be inspired by it too and be interested. So I really enjoy talking about it, but it's really, really difficult. And also one thing I wanted to say is that not just the real katana, but also in my ryuha that the instructor belongs to that taught me this really important life lesson, we actually use very, very long Iaido too, which is the training katana that are not sharp. We use the super long ones, like 2.7 shaku long. So I was really surprised when I first found out that they used the super long katana, and because of course it's really, really hard to handle, I was like, why would you use such a difficult to handle katana for training? I mean, like in the major ryuhas, I believe, as I belong to one of the biggest ryuha styles of Iaido also, I belong to two, and those ryuha, most ryuha tend to tell you to rather use a shorter katana, like this one you see here, this blue one. So that's very different concepts. In the beginning, I couldn't understand why they would have to use such a long one. I mean, to do the katas more efficiently, using a shorter one is obviously easier, right? But again, the reason is the same as I explained in this video. If you use something that's easier, like what's the point of you training, right? It's like going to like a gym, for example, and just, lifting really light weights. Be like, oh, this is really easy. Look at me, lift me my bars, and everyone would be like, well, yeah, that's like what, 5 kilo or something, So that's the thing. Yeah, I really think that the real katana is the same thing as well. You should respect the katana that has chosen you, and that's the way to learn humbleness. And also, even if that katana that has chosen you is a really difficult one for you to handle, being able to, becoming capable of handling the katana is the path of your katana training. So anyways, I don't want to keep talking about the same thing that I already explained in the main part, but anyways, I really hope you enjoyed listening to this video, and just like this, I'm going to continue making more and more videos about katana, so please let me know your opinions and possibly any requests in the comment section too. Thank you so much for watching, guys.